Hey guys, Blood and Iron Senior Instructor Stephen Kime here. Today, I'm going to talk to you about the most impressive way to gain victory with a longsword, the covered thrust. Now, you're going to notice I'm holding a sharp longsword. Now, obviously, I'm not going to be performing longsword covered thrust drills with my opponent with a sharp. That would be very unsafe. However, it's useful here to illustrate an important historical detail. If I'm in the 15th century in a life and death struggle with an opponent, and I land a suicidal thrust without first controlling my opponent's weapon, I'm in for a really nasty afterblow. So that's why the masters always emphasize that you control your opponent's weapon first to do these techniques as safely as possible. Now, for the first drill, my opponent is going to hold their sword in long point, and I'm going to be in my wrath guard position. Now, from wrath, I'm going to bring my sword forward in a cutting motion towards my opponent's sword, creating a wedge, as we've described in previous videos, bringing my tip online while displacing hers. Once my tip is on target, I'm merely going to advance to land the covered thrust. As an important detail to note about this, I can do this with an advancing step, a gathering step, or a passing step. The next technique is intended to defend against an incoming thrust. My opponent thrusts, I step off to the side using a barring action or a true edge crump. Once I have control of my opponent's weapon, I'm going to bring my weapon across my body, bringing my tip on line with my opponent's target and displacing her blade. Now for this last one, I'm going to be defending against an incoming cut. Now, this technique is the most complicated, but it's also the prettiest. So if you do this at a tournament, you're likely to garner some degree of applause. As the cut comes down, I'm going to defend in cross stocks. Once I've made contact and I'm safe from the cut, I'm going to take my hand and grab my opponent's blade. Once I have control of her blade, I'm going to bring it offline and my sword tip online for the thrust. Now, you're probably wondering how this could be classified as a covered thrust. Even though my sword isn't in contact with hers, I have full control over it. And I have plenty of time to land that thrust anywhere I really want to. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this video on what we refer to as the basics of a covered thrust. Obviously, there's more we can go into. We're going to save that for later videos. Thanks a bunch to our Patreon subscribers as well. They're a real help to us. And as I always like to say, if you don't put in the effort, you can't get the results.